I'm not fighting no more. Kelly, let me do my job. I just told you I didn't want to do no interviews, and you said you are going to do interviews. Now you told me to do interviews. Now you're trying to take me away from them. No. Let me show Dante's Boxing Nation some love.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Canelo Alvarez, he did an interview with TMZ and he went in on Floyd Money Mayweather. See, guys, this is the exact reason why you never regurgitate decaf talking points, because you will always end up contradicting yourself. So Canelo Alvarez, he did an interview with TMZ Sports where he was talking about Floyd Mayweather, and this is what he had to say. He wants to continue hurting boxing by making fights that don't make sense and not giving boxing the credibility it deserves. If he wants to return, I ask him to look my way to give a great fight to the fans. Let's do the second fight. It's very important. We have something pending there, so let's make the second fight. End quote. See, it wouldn't have been a problem if Canelo would have just said, hey Floyd, let's go ahead and make the rematch. Fans want to see the fight, etc., etc., etc. But when you start talking like your promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, and you start saying stuff like Floyd is hurting the sport, etc., 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 once again, you leave yourself wide open for major counters. And this is exactly what Floyd Mayweather did, is counter Canelo Alvarez. Floyd responded by saying it didn't matter if Canelo ate his pet steak or not this night. This was by far the easiest fight of my career. Conor McQuitter was a way better fighter than Canelo's cheating ass, and I beat the brakes off him too. It takes me 36 minutes or less to make $300 million plus. It literally takes me one night and one fight to make what you might make in 5 years and 11 fights. So really, who's still winning? You do the math. End quote. And there's a lot more that Floyd Mayweather could have said. Because Floyd could have said, wait a minute, you talk about me hurting the sport by making fights that don't make sense. Didn't you and your promoter Oscar De La Hoya both call out Conor McGregor after I already beat Conor? You guys, this is exactly what I mean when I say you have to think for yourself instead of just repeating what you hear someone else say without verifying if it makes any damn logical sense. I mean, for Canelo Alvarez to talk about someone hurting the sport when Canelo is 28 years old, in his prime, he's in the most stacked division in boxing. Middleweight division is one of the most stacked divisions. You have his mandatory, Jamal Charlo. You have Demetrius Andrade, BJ Saunders, Darren Yevchenko, Danny Jacobs. And I'm not even including the young undefeated lions that's coming up in the middleweight division. You have all of these fighters, and Canelo Alvarez decides to fight Rocky Fielding, and we don't even know if Canelo ever will fight against a Jamal Charlo or any of those middleweights that I just mentioned right now. And he's talking about Floyd Mayweather hurting the sport at age 42, but he wants to fight a 42-year-old. Once again, guys, I understand Canelo Alvarez fans and people who can't stand Floyd, they're going to try to use every excuse in the book, and they're going to say stuff like, hey man, things will be different. When Floyd fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo was too young. He was only 23 years old. I'm going to go ahead and reverse the roles once again. Guys, I want you to imagine if the roles were completely reversed. Imagine if it was Floyd Mayweather that was 23 years old and it was Canelo that was close to 40, and Canelo was at a smaller weight class, Floyd Mayweather was at a higher weight class. Canelo had to move up in weight after he already moved up 5 weight classes. Now he has to move up in weight and go up against Floyd Mayweather, who will be 15 to 20 pounds bigger than him the night of the fight. Who would you guys pick to win that fight? Not only would you pick Floyd Mayweather to win that fight, but many would consider that fight a mismatch. And the decals would certainly be saying that this is the biggest cherry pick. Why is Floyd Mayweather fighting some older, smaller guy? This is what they would say. So you can't use this excuse that Canelo Alvarez was too young. Because Floyd Mayweather would have been the favorite regardless if he would have been in Canelo Alvarez's shoes at 23 or in Floyd Mayweather's shoes at 37. Once again, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez talking about hurting the sport, Canelo Alvarez, he has an opportunity to not hurt the sport and fight the best opponents in his prime right now. We know that Floyd Mayweather, at age 23, Floyd Mayweather, he was not only beating the best competition, but he was dominating them. When Floyd Mayweather beat these guys, there was no question that he won the fight. Even when he fought against Castillo, and there was a question that he won the fight, he came right back and he gave Castillo a rematch, beat him decisively in the rematch, something that Canelo did not do against Edeslani Lara by way of contrast. Floyd Mayweather was in his 30s, beating fighters that were on the top 10 pound-for-pound list. Will Canelo Alvarez get in the ring with pound-for-pound fighters and beat them without any controversy? That's yet to be seen. He did it with Gennady Golovkin, but it doesn't end after Gennady Golovkin, because if that were the case, because I know a lot of fans, they'll say, hey man, well he already fought Golovkin, he doesn't have to do anything anymore. This is what some Canelo fans will say. But if that's the case, then Floyd Mayweather didn't have to beat anyone else after he beat Janir Hernandez or Corrales. He could have just coasted for the next 10 years and fought complete Rocky Fielding tomato cans. So at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez, he has this 11-fight deal with DAZN, and I am very hopeful that Canelo Alvarez will get in the ring with some of the top middleweights in the world. If he manages to fight anyone but the top middleweights in 11 fights, that would truly be hurting the sport. Let's see if he can beat some of these guys decisively like Floyd Mayweather did once again when he stepped up in competition at a very early age. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.